Denji was a poor teenager who lived on the edge of survival, carrying the enormous debt left behind by his late father. Every morning he woke up with only one goal: to earn enough money to stay alive for another day. His clothes were torn, his stomach was usually empty, and his dreams were painfully simple compared to everyone else. Instead of wishing for fame or fortune, he only wanted to eat a full meal, sleep in a warm bed, and someday experience a normal life. His only true companion was Pochita, a small chainsaw devil with an orange body, a tiny tail, and a chainsaw blade extending from its head. Although Pochita was a devil, the bond between them was built on trust, loyalty, and genuine friendship. Together they worked as devil hunters for the Yakuza, killing dangerous devils in exchange for small amounts of money. Every successful hunt barely reduced Denji's crushing debt, because the gang constantly exploited him, taking almost everything he earned. Even then, Denji refused to give up because Pochita remained beside him through every difficult moment. Their friendship gave him the strength to continue despite the endless suffering surrounding his life. One day, the Yakuza received an offer from the zombie devil, who promised them incredible power in exchange for becoming its servants. Greed blinded them, and they accepted the deal without hesitation. After gaining supernatural abilities, they decided Denji had become useless. They lured him into an abandoned warehouse under the false promise of another job before suddenly attacking him without mercy. The transformed gang members brutally murdered Denji and threw his broken body into a pile of garbage, believing his miserable life had finally ended forever. As Denji's blood touched Pochita, the little devil remembered every moment they had shared together. Instead of abandoning his best friend, Pochita made the greatest sacrifice possible. He offered his own heart to save Denji's life, merging completely with his body and asking him to fulfill the simple dreams they had once shared together. Moments later, Denji awakened with a strange feeling inside his chest. When he pulled a cord emerging from his chest, roaring chainsaws burst from his arms and head, transforming him into a terrifying human-devil hybrid. Overflowing with incredible power, he charged toward the zombie devil and the undead gang members. His chainsaws ripped through countless enemies with unstoppable force as blood covered the battlefield. Every swing reflected years of pain, hunger, betrayal, and hopelessness that had defined his existence. After defeating the zombie devil, Denji collapsed from exhaustion, believing the nightmare was finally over. However, his transformation had attracted the attention of the mysterious public safety devil hunters. Among them stood Makima, a calm and beautiful woman whose gentle smile contrasted with the horrifying scene surrounding them. She approached Denji without fear and offered him a choice that would completely change his destiny forever. He could either become a devil to be eliminated immediately or join public safety as her subordinate and finally receive food, shelter, and a chance to live like an ordinary human being. Denji accepted Makima's offer without hesitation because, for the first time in his life, someone had promised him regular meals, a safe place to sleep, and a reason to keep living. Although he barely understood the dangerous world he had entered, those simple rewards were more valuable to him than anything he had ever imagined. Makima brought him to the headquarters of public safety, where he officially became a devil hunter working for the government. There he met Aki Hayakawa, a disciplined and experienced hunter whose family had been slaughtered by the gun devil years earlier. Aki believed in strict discipline, responsibility, and professionalism, making him the complete opposite of Denji. Seeing Denji's childish behavior and selfish motivations, Aki immediately disliked him. Their first meeting quickly turned into a physical fight, with Aki trying to convince Denji to quit before he endangered everyone around him. Despite the painful beating, Denji refused to leave because he finally had the comfortable life he had always dreamed about. Soon afterward, Makima introduced Denji to another new partner named Power, the Blood Fiend. Unlike ordinary humans, a fiend was a devil living inside a human corpse, and Power perfectly reflected the wild instincts of her true nature. She was loud, arrogant, selfish, and completely unpredictable. She constantly lied, ignored orders, and only cared about satisfying her own desires. At first, Denji believed working with Power would be impossible, but their strange personalities unexpectedly matched in surprising ways. During one mission, Power betrayed Denji by handing him over to the Bat Devil in exchange for saving her beloved cat, Meowie. However, the Bat Devil ignored its promise after recovering its strength and prepared to kill both Power and her pet instead. Watching Power cry in despair reminded Denji of the helplessness he had experienced throughout his own miserable life. Without thinking about the danger, he transformed into Chainsaw Man and attacked the massive devil with fearless determination. An intense battle erupted as chainsaws tore through wings, claws, and flesh while buildings collapsed around them. Although Denji suffered terrible injuries, he refused to stop fighting until the Bat Devil was completely destroyed. Before he could recover, another terrifying enemy, the Leech Devil, suddenly appeared seeking revenge for its fallen companion. Exhausted and bleeding heavily, Denji still continued battling to protect Power and the innocent civilians nearby. Just as his strength began to fade, Aki arrived alongside another devil hunter named Kobeni, helping eliminate the powerful monster before it could finish Denji. After surviving the battle, Power finally admitted that Denji had risked everything to save her without expecting any reward. For the first time, she felt genuine gratitude toward another person. Although Denji often acted immaturely, his willingness to protect others began changing the opinions of those around him. Even Aki slowly realized that beneath Denji's foolish attitude was someone capable of extraordinary courage. Without realizing it, the three unlikely companions had taken the first steps toward becoming a family, united by battles, shared hardships, and the constant threat of death waiting around every corner. As Denji settled into his new life as a public safety devil hunter, he discovered that every mission pushed him closer to death. Devils were born from human fears, and the stronger the fear, the more powerful the devil became. While Denji continued chasing simple dreams like good food and affection, his teammates carried far heavier burdens. Aki remained obsessed with defeating the gun devil, believing revenge was the only way to honor his murdered family. Power slowly adapted to living alongside humans, although she still caused endless trouble with her reckless behavior and complete lack of manners. Despite their constant arguments, the three of them gradually formed an unusual friendship that grew stronger after every dangerous mission. Their next major assignment involved tracking down a mysterious devil connected to a series of disappearances inside a hotel. Denji, Aki, Power, Imino, Kobeni, Arai, and several experienced devil hunters entered the building expecting an ordinary operation. Instead, they discovered they had become trapped on the 8th floor by the terrifying Eternity Devil. No matter how far they walked or how many stairs they climbed, they always returned to the same hallway. Time itself seemed frozen. Escape became impossible, and panic slowly spread through the entire team. Food supplies began running low. Exhaustion weakened everyone's judgment, and fear gave the Eternity Devil exactly what it wanted. Sensing their desperation, the monster offered a horrifying bargain. It promised to release everyone alive if they sacrificed Denji. Some frightened hunters immediately considered accepting the deal, believing one life was worth saving the rest. Kobeni, overwhelmed by terror, even attempted to kill Denji herself, convinced it was their only chance of survival. Aki defended his teammate despite their many disagreements, refusing to abandon someone under his protection. Denji listened to the arguments around him before making a shocking decision. Instead of waiting for another plan, he willingly jumped into the Eternity Devil's enormous body and transformed into Chainsaw Man. The battle became a brutal war of endurance. Every attack shredded Denji's body, while the devil regenerated endlessly, creating a nightmare that seemed impossible to overcome. However, Denji realized that his own hybrid body could also regenerate as long as he consumed the devil's blood. Laughing wildly through unbearable pain, he continued cutting the monster apart again and again without stopping. The relentless assault lasted for days inside the endless hotel, pushing both fighter and monster beyond their limits. Eventually, the Eternity Devil could no longer endure the constant agony. Begging for mercy, it surrendered and allowed Denji to destroy its core completely. The impossible prison finally collapsed, freeing every survivor from the cursed floor. Although the victory came at a terrible physical cost, Denji had accomplished what no one else believed possible. His fearless determination earned the respect of his fellow hunters, while rumors about the mysterious Chainsaw Man began spreading throughout the world. Unknown to Denji, powerful enemies had already started watching his every move, believing the heart beating inside his chest possessed a secret capable of changing the balance between humans and devils forever.